Hello, YouTube. I'm Nicolette Amarillas, a posture and movement specialist and a strength coach, and today we're going over the figure 4 stretch and 3 variations to that stretch. We've got a seated, which will need a bench, side of your bed, a couch, a chair, literally anything you can sit on. We'll do a lying version and then also a twisty version. We'll start with the seated. Know that the position of the legs in the stretch is pretty much the same for every version. So once we get that down, you can do any version that's most comfortable or most accessible to you. Let's go. So the seated version, we have our resting leg. The resting leg is on the floor, knee is bent about 90 degrees, the foot flat on the floor and stable. From here, we have a 90-degree angle with this other leg, and we're gonna pull it up and over so that the lower leg is right on top of the thigh or the quad above the knee on that resting side. I like to have my ankle to the outside of my thigh here because that way it's not digging into my leg. Now, once you're in this position, it's gonna look different for everybody. Some people, the knee might be up here. If your knee is up here and you can't seem to get it down, that probably just means there's some tightness in that booty cheek and in the hip, and that's okay. That's why we're here. Great, I'm glad you showed up. If you're able to easily bring your leg down, that just means you're more mobile there. Doesn't mean you don't need the stretch though. So from here, we are gonna actively try and lightly press on the knee to open up as much as we can comfortably. Keyword, comfortably. We don't want to do anything that's uncomfortable for our body, and make sure you're always working in a range of motion that you can feel is comfortable and safe. So once we've pressed down that knee, we're then going to think about lifting and opening up the upper part of our body. Yes, this is a hip stretch, but our entire spine influences how the other parts of our body behave and move. So lift the collarbones, get tall, pull the shoulder blades down. Now, if you feel a stretch and this is intense, hang out here. There's no need to do anything else because I already feel it too. Now, if you want to go crazy and go a little bit deeper, you can. What I like to do is hold on to the front of this stretching leg and kind of pull back on it to engage and open the chest. Like you're trying to pull your chest through your shoulders. From here, hinge forward, and then you feel the stretch. So hinge forward. Now notice I'm not pulling forward as far as I can, because as soon as you go into flexion, like I am now, rounding of the spine, you lose all stretch in the hip. We don't want that. Then we're stretching the ligaments of the spine, and that's not why we're here. So pull back on the leg, open the chest, use that to open, and then reach the body forward. This is as far as I can go before I go into flexion. So I'm gonna hang out here. I like to hold this stretch for anywhere from 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Once that feels comfortable and starts to loosen up, slowly bring your torso up, set the foot down, and then switch sides. So we come into this side, same thing. You might notice differences on each side. This side feels a lot more tight, and then go and do the same exact thing. Now let's go into the lying version. Let me get this bench out of the way. We're on our back, which means supine. And we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna do the other leg so that you can see it. I'm gonna bring my right leg up, so foot on the floor, knee toward the ceiling. Same movement here, bend this knee, and then bring the lower leg on top of the thigh of the resting leg. Now for some people, again, this might be really intense. You might already feel that stretch. If so, hang out here and work your way up to the rest of these progressions. If you need a little bit more oomph in the stretch, grab the thigh of the resting leg. Keep that knee bent, okay? So keep this leg as relaxed as possible. Now, just like the seated version, you're going to try and push that knee that you're stretching out and down, so like away from your chest. So the inside of my left knee is pulling away from the front of my body or my chest. Then I'm opening up the hip and getting a deep stretch through the outside of my leg and in my glute. Again, holding this anywhere from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, whatever's comfortable and helps you start opening up. Drop down, unwind, and then switch sides. Other leg comes up, pull, rotate, or pull and push the knee out and stretch. Now the rotational version, let's go over that. So we're in the stretch already. It's the same positioning as this lying version. From there, we're gonna drop the legs down toward the floor. So I'm dropping down toward the leg that's resting. So my resting leg is the one that's stretching. You can even add a little more of a twist if you want. Put your hand on the opposite knee that's stretching and open up toward that side, getting a deep stretch. You can hold here and then bring yourself up, and if you want, you could even stretch the other side. I like to do both. There's benefits to both. I feel different areas stretching with both. And then I come up, set my foot down, drop the other foot, cross back over, drop down. My foot of the leg that's stretching, I feel it, and then I drop that knee, pull it toward me. Feels good, big stretch. And then other side, both legs come down, opening up, rotating to the opposite side, just so we're creating that like towel wringing effect of the torso and the spine. Come back up, untwist, and that is the figure 4 and 3 different variations to keep life spicy. I'm Nicolette Amarillas. I'll catch you soon.